Have you ever gotten hesitation from dad about birth photography? You finally get mom on board and then dad decides he doesn't want a birth photographer. By the end of this video, you're going to learn how to get dad on board so you can get hired for birth photography. I'm recording, so you're just trying to get the goofy thing. I know what you're doing.
I don't walk back by you.
I thought you were going to walk back by again. Hey y'all, I'm Tavia. I am a birth photographer in Oklahoma City, and I train birth photographers how to run successful businesses. Do me a favor and click that little bell below and the subscribe button. That is going to notify you every time there's a new video. I release a new video every single Friday that's going to help you grow your birth photography business. We are starting a new 4-part series all about client hesitations. And the first one we're going to talk about is how to get dad on board if he doesn't want birth photography. What do you say? What do you do? If you can get dad on board, you're golden, right? So that is why it's so important. As I was creating this video for you, I am not even joking, I got a Facebook message from a past client, a dad, from almost 3 years ago, who just wanted to thank me for the photos. He literally just said, I was just looking through the birth photos again. I'm so happy that we did this. Thank you. I think we often think about the work that we do and how it benefits moms and how it benefits families, but it also benefits dads. The work that we do with birth photography is really important to dads, and I know that convincing them is a huge part in getting them on board and getting hired, but it's also beneficial for them long term because what you're providing for them is a huge gift as well. So yes, while my goal for you is for you to get hired and make a full-time income by specializing in birth photography, I wanted to remind you that what you're doing is really important to moms, families, and dads, because they don't get a do-over when it comes to photographing their child's birthday. So what do you do if your client says, I want birth photography, but my husband doesn't want birth photography? First, I want you to get inside dad's head. What is he thinking? What is going on in his mind that you can address that potential hesitation? The first reason he might not want a birth photographer is he's worried about the price. A lot of dads like to know exactly what they're getting. So when you're talking to dad about this in the birth consultation, make sure to tell him exactly what he's getting. He's getting your on-call time from 37 weeks until they deliver, or whatever that looks like for you. He's getting your 24/7 availability. Tell him about the packages, what it all includes, including your on-call time. If you can really lay it out, what they're getting for the price, a lot of times that will squash the hesitation of it being too expensive. When dads find out that I will be there even in the middle of the night, because I've had some dads say, well, what happens if she goes into labor at 2 a.m.? I say, I'll be there. You call me and I'll be there. That really solidifies it for a lot of dads. So make sure that they know what they're getting in the packages, that you'll be on call for them 24/7, and that even if she gives birth in the middle of the night, you're going to be there. Another thing to consider if dad is worried about the price is, do you offer a baby registry or gift certificates or a payment plan? Make sure that they know all of their payment options, because something like letting family and friends chip in form of a gift certificate or a baby registry, or letting them know that you do a payment plan, can make the difference in you getting hired or not. So make sure to mention that in the consultation. Just say something like, a lot of my clients take advantage of this payment plan. Here's how that works. Or a lot of clients take advantage of my baby registry, and here's how that works. Letting them know about all the options can get rid of the price hesitation. Okay, so if we're getting inside dad's head and we're really trying to think about, okay, what's he thinking about that's making him hesitate to hire us for birth photography? The first is likely price. The second is probably that he's worried about somebody else being in the room and that it might be distracting or it might bother them. And this is particularly true of first-time parents or first-time dads. So I just like to really reassure them that my goal is to stay unseen and unheard and remain a fly on the wall throughout the entire process. And so I always tell them, I don't speak unless spoken to. I try to stay back and photograph things as they happen. I also let them know, a lot of times there's going to be a lot of doctors and nurses in and out, and I'll be a familiar face, somebody that you've met before, but I'm going to just stay out of the way, and I sort of address that before they even bring it up to let them know that my goal is to remain unseen and unheard. Another thing a lot of dads say is why would anyone want photos of that? Chances are mom has seen your photos on social media or on your website and dad probably hasn't. So it really just depends on if she's even shown him photos. He might not even know what birth photography is. So having a slideshow or some sample images ready to go so that he knows what birth photography actually is, and it's not just photos of crowning or babies being born, like it's so much more than that. I always tell people birth photography is a lot like wedding photography. It tells the story of the day. So labor is a lot like getting ready at a wedding, and the delivery is a lot like the actual ceremony, and the reception at a wedding is a lot like those 2 to 3 hours after birth where families meeting baby for the first time and weighing and measuring and all that good stuff. So I always just tell people it's really photojournalistic and it's telling the story of the entire day. So whenever I say it like that to dads, a lot of times it clicks in their mind like, okay, that makes a lot of sense about what birth photography is. So their minds, when you say birth photography, automatically goes to crowning shots. But if you can explain to them that that's not all it is, that will make a huge difference. So I want you to tell me in the comments, is this a hesitation that you hear often? Moms or dads saying that dad doesn't want birth photography. Tell me in the comments if this is something that you hear a lot. I love hearing from you and I reply to each and every comment. Okay, so now we're inside dad's head and we know he's probably worried about the price, he's worried about somebody else being in the room, and he's worried about why his wife would even want to pay thousands of dollars for a crowning shot of his baby. And you're going to explain to him that that is not all birth photography is. So now I want you to focus on the benefits for dad, because there are a lot of benefits with birth photography for dad. He doesn't have to take photos. And this is a huge thing that I always point out to my clients. Dad, you get to sit back and relax and enjoy the day and not be worried about fumbling with the camera. Your wife's wanting you to get certain pictures. You don't even have to think about the camera. I'll take care of it all. You can relax and do less work. Like, it's less work for the dad. So I always point that out. That is a huge, huge benefit for dads. Finally, he needs to know that this is not going to be a photo shoot. And I know that that sounds kind of silly to you and me, but I think that dads are imagining their wedding day when their wedding photographer was posing them and telling them to do certain things. And they need to know that birth photography is totally just documenting the day in a very photojournalistic way. You're not posing him. You're not going to be telling him to sit a certain way or stand a certain way. You're just taking photos of the day. So I think that's a really, really important thing to make sure that dads understand it's not a regular photo shoot. Because let's be honest, all dads hate photo shoots. So that's the worst thing that they can imagine, is trying to have a photo shoot on their baby's birthday. Make sure to click that like button below if you dig this video, and also click the subscribe button, because each and every week I release a new video about birth photography and how to grow your business. Here's the thing. If you love birth photography, you were made to be a birth photographer. So get out there and make it happen.